You may think you don't have the resources to start, but you are your greatest resource, and it's up to you and you alone to stay focused. These are the kinds of messages young women across South Africa hear from sexual and reproductive health interventions that promise empowerment. These messages don't come from nowhere. They are part of global efforts like Sustainable Development Goal number 5 to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Success of these interventions is often measured through individual behavior change by broadly asking, did young women make better choices? This treats empowerment as a personal trait, something you can measure, gain, or fail at, rather than something that is shaped by power, poverty, gendered, class, and race inequalities. This creates a tension between what empowerment promises and what it actually asks of young women. In my PhD, I analyzed how discourses of empowerment operate within a sexual and reproductive health intervention. And discourses are a way of talking about empowerment that also defines what is true, who holds responsibility, and what actions are possible. I looked at how the discourses are operating in a range of data, including documentary and media sources, as well as individual interviews. And my research question was broadly exploring how these discourses operate. I used a discourse analysis, which is like holding a magnifying glass to the words that we often overlook. And this helped me to explore how the idea of empowerment was shaping how young women were expected to act. For example, in my analysis, there is a tension between two discourses, where one discourse says that young women are vulnerable because of their constraining environments and need to be rescued, but another discourse says young women are resilient and they can stand up against these constraints. These discourses send mixed messages. Even though the intervention is acknowledging that young women may live in constraining environments, it positions them as vulnerable, but also able to save themselves. And in both cases, the weight of empowerment falls on the young woman and not the system around her. My research shows how empowerment isn't neutral. Sexual and reproductive health interventions walk a tightrope where they try to promote justice, such as acknowledging constraining environments, but often slip into discourses that ask young women to carry the burden of change alone. I leave you with this reflective question. What happens when you're told that you're your greatest resource, but only if you can overcome the system stacked against you?